In today's FX markets, I want to focus on the British pound. The British pound weaker on the day. We saw a mixed bag in the major currencies. We saw the euro slightly higher. We saw the yen and the pound a little weaker. The Canadian dollar actually reversing and gaining a little strength throughout the day. But the biggest mover of the day was the British pound, and it was down not too much, but giving up some edge here as we move through the week. And I think when you look at some of the pricing structure and the action within the British pound today, you're looking at the Brexit rhetoric continuing to ramp up. We're moving towards that December 12th vote, and you continue to see the rhetoric really picking up now as far as what it all means. Now, if Boris Johnson is able to get his majority in Parliament, you know, ultimately, if he's able to push some kind of deal through, is it going to be a deal that's manageable, something that's the best interest of the UK? So I think those questions are starting to come up as we move towards this vote, and you're seeing some of the dynamics playing out in the British pound as we're seeing it giving up, a little bit of ground here. So when you look at some of the other activity, we had some trade talks again today. The trend in the U.S.-China trade negotiations continues to trend positively. That was helping the dollar initially. We did see the dollar back off a little bit on the fact that we saw some weaker economic data. But overall, you're still seeing those general trends with the dollars holding up at the top end of the range and putting a little pressure on the majors. Also, I want to point out that when you look at the British pound, we're seeing it trade in a pretty defined range here for the last month, and I think it's again playing into the idea that the market's still biding its time here, trying to decide how the vote's going to go and what it ultimately means for the UK and therefore the British pound. So you got a range between 128 on the low end, 1.28, and 1.30 on the top end. We're currently right off a little bit below the mean there. We're looking at 1.2869 today, so trending a little bit lower, but still holding within this tight range. And I expect that to persist moving into December, and then at some point probably moving towards that election on the 12th, we'll start to see some volatility, and you'll see a more defined trend develop post-vote on December 12th.